Hey everyone, welcome to Victorian Time. Today I will introduce Victorian poetry, Ulysses by Alfred Tennyson. Tennyson wrote this poem to commemorate his friend Arthur Hallam's death. In this video, I will briefly introduce Tennyson and then talk about Ulysses in detail. So first, who is Tennyson? Alfred Tennyson is a laureate poet during Victorian times. Tennyson starts writing at a young age. To escape from the unhappy environment of Somersby Rectory, Alfred began writing poetry long before he was sent to school. He used writing as a way to get rid of troubles in life. When he was not quite 18, his first poetry, Poem by Two Brothers, was published. Tennyson wrote the major part, and it also contained poems by his two elder brothers, Frederick and Charles. Tennyson was known for his short lyrics. Most of his verse was based on mythology. When the time Hallam died, Tennyson wrote some of his most famous works connected with the loss of his friend, such like Ulysses, Morte d'Arthur, Theseus, Tiresias, etc. Most important was the group of unleaked poems he began writing about Hallam's death. The first of these elegies, written in 4 light stanzas of iambic tetrameter. He continued to write them for 17 years and then collected them. It's perhaps the greatest Victorian poems. Now let's talk about one of Tennyson's famous works, Ulysses. First is the title. Ulysses is also known as Odysseus. He is the hero of Homer's epic poem, the Odyssey. Also, he was king of Ithaca. If you heard a story about a kind of creature named sirens, that creature had bird features and their voice can bewitch people. That story is connected to Odysseus. In mythology, any sailors pass this area will be bewitched by this bird-like creature and forget anything, even their home. But Odysseus would be warned, so he ordered his sailors to plug their ears with big wax, and asked his sailors to tie him to the mast of the ship, so he can hear siren songs without being bewitched. He might be the first person who hears siren songs without being crazy. Another story that makes you know about this hero is when he back to Ithaca. He proved his identity with the help of Athena. By accomplishing Penelope's test of stringing and shooting with his own bow. Then with the help of his son Telemachus and 2 slaves, Odysseus kills his wife's suitors. These 2 stories are widely spread, so I think most of you already know this, and now you will remember these stories are connected to Ulysses. Now I believe you briefly know about the poem's title background, so let's get into the core. The core of this poem is that life is meaningful only if there is some quest. We can see the conclusion of the poem: to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. It sparks that idea. What Tennyson wants to say is, instead of waiting for death, he wants to live till the end of his life. If you read Tennyson's personal comment, you will find that the poem ends with a high-level optimism. The central thing is to make life worth living. So, in the poem, Ulysses feels the urge to go on a search for adventure, experience, and meaning. The special point of the poem is that Ulysses will start a journey, So maybe we will think that we can see the author depict Ulysses' young era. But Tennyson wrote from a specific perspective. He depicts Ulysses' emotions when he gets old. Another thing about Ulysses is that this poem was written in a cruel form. It is a dramatic monologue. It is direct to the world. The line, "Free heart, free forehead, you and I are old," make an indication of who the audience be. "You and I are old" indicates the age nature of the world around Ulysses. This form is different from the soliloquies in Shakespeare's plays. It is not spoken to audiences who sit under the stage, but to the wider readership. Now we deep dive into the poem itself. In lines 1 to 15 begins with a dramatic monologue of the speaker, Ulysses discussing his present state. These openings also reflect the character's mental feel. He might be old, but his spirit is young. He believes that stop equals death. From lines 16 to 32, in the second section of the first stanza, Ulysses thinks about his past. He finds that stopping and ending his journey in life is a very boring idea. He is aware of his age, but in his mind, he knows being old is just a mental state. Next, in the lines 33 to 43, in the second stanza of the poem, Ulysses talks about his duty as a father. He has given over his duties to his son Telemachus. He is bandless and does his common duties, so there is no way to judge him as a romantic hero. Before leaving for the endless journey of his life, he makes everything in the right order. In lines 44 to 57. In this section, the speaker directly talks to his partner. He is about to leave his country with his friends. From the poem, we can see that his friends cannot overcome their fear of leaving for the journey in their old age. But as a unit, with a common heart, they thought together and conquered the problem together. The speaker reminds them of their present situation and tells them that being old does not make life stop. Movement is life, immobility is death. No matter whether they are young or old. If they choose to remain on the land or stop adventuring, they are dead already. Final part, in lines 58 to 70. This section begins with the words "push off." Ulysses and his friends have to overcome their fears to continue their journey in life. They are weak and old due to a natural process, but they are strong in will. They are starting their endless spiritual quest, to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. Well, now the life of this video is almost till the end, but I still want to end this journey with you. So, let us enjoy the sunset. I believe most of you, just like me, remember this line, to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. It fits the Victorian urge to escape the boring nature of daily life, to achieve the mythical fame reached by the classical heroes. There are two important symbols in this poem. The first one is sea. In the poem, the sea has a different symbolic meaning. It refers to adventure and mystery. The poet used the symbol of land to show the opposite. It depicts love, care, relationship, and immobility. In the poem, Ulysses belonged to ancient Greece. Tennyson also belongs to an age when immobility was compared to death. The sea and the land reflected a similar kind of symbolic meaning in Ulysses' time as well as in the Victorian era. So the point is, Tennyson expresses his feelings through this poem. He doesn't want to conform. He wants to challenge himself, and he wants to break new ground before dying. Well, sailors, I already see my land, I did my journey. Thank you for joining this advantage with me. Hope you guys can keep your energy in your entire life. Find your own journey. Remember to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. Life will not stop because of becoming older. Thank you for your time. Have a great journey every day.